Hello everybody, this is Eleni Karachaliou from Aristotle University of Thessaloniki in Greece, and you are listening to the Reset podcast that has been designed for all of us who envision academia, higher education, research institutions, and scientific community in general as spaces of true gender equality and equity. Together, we will explore the challenges, share inspiring stories, and uncover strategies to create inclusive and equitable environments. Whether you are a researcher, an academic, a student, or simply interested in the topic of gender equality and scientific excellence, this podcast is for you. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Today, we are talking about women in science and academia, work-life balance, and gender mainstreaming in research with Dr. Eleni Vardoulaki, who is an astrophysicist with outstanding research and academic career, a passionate science communicator, and a single mother. Thanks for joining us, Eleni.
Thank you very much for the fantastic invitation, and I want to wish you good luck with this amazing idea of a podcast.
Thank you. Before we dive into our discussion, could you please share a bit about your background and your specific area of expertise?
Yes, of course. I'm an astrophysicist. This means that I study the universe, so things very far away from us that happened many years ago, millions or billion years ago. I use telescopes to observe the universe and understand how it formed and evolved and how we got here today to discuss about, equity and equality.
It's amazing. What initially sparked your interest in astrophysics and how you dealt with gender-based challenges in this field?
Astrophysics, I think if you ask any Greek astrophysicist, they will tell you, it's the love of the night sky because Greece has an amazing night sky, especially in the summer. But for me, it was the love of physics that led me to study physics at the University of Ioannina. And there, I got to love astrophysics a bit more, and I pursued it as an academic career. I went to study in Oxford for my PhD, and since then, I've been roaming Europe as a postdoc, doing research in astrophysics.
And did you dealt with any gender-based challenges in this field so far?
Yes, unfortunately, I have. I have encountered many gender stereotypes. I've been excluded from projects because I was a woman, or because I had a kid, or because I had a small kid. I just have to say it's not easy. And it's everywhere. It's not only in Greece or only located in another country. You encounter this everywhere in the world, unfortunately.
Do you believe that in a field like astrophysics, which is more STEM-oriented, this problem and these challenges are bigger?
Traditionally, physics is thought as a male-dominated field, right? And history has shown us that even women, their contributions in science and in astrophysics were not taken seriously. They were considered as computers or cataloging, stars, or not doing the research that would get someone a permanent position, for example. So it took a long time for women to obtain even a PhD and to get into the research world, start obtaining permanent jobs and training the new generation of scientists. We still have a lot of work to do when it comes to that. And part of that is because of the stereotypes that are inherent within us and within the field of astrophysics, unfortunately.
In your opinion, what are the key factors contributing to the underrepresentation of women in astrophysics or in STEM in general, particularly in higher positions or leadership roles?
Yes, this is a very important question, and we see this difference. It's very interesting because at the graduate or undergraduate level, you have approximately equal numbers of male and female students. And then as you advance in your academic career, this starts decreasing significantly. And by the time you go to permanent positions, it's very low, 1 in 4th in Greece, in astrophysics, for example. So 1 out of 4 people, researchers in Greece are women with permanent positions. This is a very small percentage, and it has increased in the last decade, but it's still very low compared to, if you want to go for equity and equality. The reasons for that, several. I think women are being pushed out of the academic research field because mainly they take the weight of raising a family. So all the weight of raising the family and taking care of the children is falling upon them. And it's a very interesting result that came out of the pandemic. They did this study in the US. They ranked the academic performance, let's say, of researchers during the pandemic. So they split them in male, female, without kids, and male and female with kids, with a family. And they saw that the ones that had the most trouble working and producing and publishing papers were women with kids, and the ones that benefited the most from this time at home were men with kids, which meant that all the weight of the family again fell on the women. And that's one of the parameters that really forces women outside. And then it's all the inherent stereotypes that we have within us. We grow up with them. Even kids at 6 years old, if you ask them which is more clever, they might, most possibly they will tell you a man is more clever or a man is more capable. A man can do math better than a girl. This is not true, of course, and we know that, but this is what is being taught from inside the family to the kids. So when you grow up in an environment like that, it's very hard to get these stereotypes to extinguish them from inside you. You know what I mean? So I think we still have a lot of work to find the true reasons behind this discrepancy and deal with them.
Your reference in this study, it's a very good, step to our next question about work-life balance. In your experience, what are some misconceptions or myths about work-life balance in the research field, and how would you debunk or address them?
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. I don't know why this became the norm. I don't know why this became the norm, but it's considered that a researcher or an academic will work non-stop, that they should not have a life, that they should dedicate every minute of their life doing research, producing, publishing, teaching. And this is very stressful, of course, and unrealistic. It cannot happen. We're humans. We have lives outside our lab, outside the classroom, and we should celebrate that and not be penalized for that. So the more modern generation, the newer generation of researchers is really trying to have a better work-life balance, and they have hobbies, they go out with friends, they have, other interests, they have families, but still the idea, this pressure that comes from within academia, that you have to produce, you have to publish or perish, this concept really forces you to work more and live less. And it's very sad, but it's true.
You have been in many different institutions all around Europe. What support systems or resources have you found helpful in maintaining a healthy work-life balance? Are there any specific policies or initiatives you are aware of and that have been beneficial in this regard, considering also that you are a single mother?
Yes, it's true that in different places that I've been, maybe I mention a few places that I've worked. I worked while having a kid, right? At the University of Crete, at the University of Bonn, at Max Planck in Bonn, and here in Tautenburg in East Germany. And also I visited Caltech while having a kid. But the place that supported me most was the University of Bonn. I think because we had an amazing secretary that really pushed for gender balance. So when I had to go to conferences to present my work, and I had to take my kid with me because he was little, they would cover their cost, if possible, you know. Otherwise, I would have to go from Germany to Greece, leave my kids to my parents, and then travel back and go to the conference to Japan or to another country. So the support system can be either the university that has good policies to support parents, so they can attend their conferences and they can attend their work, a good school system that keeps the kids for 8 hours, because this is a good time schedule to do your work during the day, and then you can have your life afterwards, and it promotes work-life balance. And I think one of the most vital support systems is your cycle, your family, your friends. So when you have also support from that, is the something extra. But if you only have the support from the family and the friends, and you don't have the support from the institute, then it is unfair towards you, when you have other researchers that don't face the same problem, so they don't have limitations in traveling, for example. Their research will be promoted more, and they will be heard more. They will have the opportunities to form collaborations in the conferences, and you won't be able because you cannot travel. So I think we are going towards a better support system for academics. At least in Germany, they are promoting the gender balance and equality and equity. And I hope, it gets better, but I am afraid it will take many, many years to reach the numbers, because we already mentioned, and you asked me before, Elena, about why do we have so few women in high positions, permanent positions and leading positions. Yes, I think this will take a lot of time. Research shows that if we go with this pace, it might take 200 years to bridge the gap. I don't know. It's a bit difficult. And from my experience inside academia and all the misogyny you encounter, I think it's very hard. It needs radical change and personal change. We need to change. I need to change as a person. I need to take the stereotypes out of me, and everyone else needs to do the same.
But at the same time, I understand also it's on the one part is on us, but on the other part is also to the institutions and all the support systems to provide policies, establish policies to support women towards this.
But also, it's not only making the policies, right? Because you might make the policy, but someone has to enforce it. There needs to be also a code of conduct, because if someone misbehaves in a research environment, this is not acceptable. You need to be treated with respect and as an equal. So someone needs to enforce this code or these policies. And it's very important to have the right people to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to young women who aspire to pursue careers in scientific research or academia? What are some key factors they should consider in navigating the path towards success?
So no, don't listen to anyone. I think that's, if someone tries to tell you you're not meant for this, or you cannot do it, or you're not clever enough, don't listen to them. Pursue it, learn, you know. We are all learning every day. We learn new things. We don't know everything. So if this is what you want, go for it, you know. And then the other important thing is mentors. You have to really choose carefully who your supervisor is and who your collaborators are, because these people will either advance your career or stop your career. Of course, that is easier said than done. But once you reach a certain level in your career, you do have the choice to choose your collaborators and your boss or your job. So work with people that are professional, that promote science, and they don't care about gender, or this is irrelevant to science.
Thank you very much, Eleni. Before we wrap up this episode, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our incredible guest, Dr. Eleni Vardoulaki, for sharing her experience and insights on gender equality in research and academia. Your valuable contributions have enriched our discussion and inspired us to strive for positive change, I would say. We are truly grateful for your time.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It has been great.
To our listeners, thank you for joining us today on Reset Podcast. We hope this episode has shed light on the importance of gender equality in scientific research and academia. Remember, it's up to all of us to champion inclusivity and foster an environment of gender equality and equity. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for future episodes where we continue to explore topics about gender equality, scientific excellence, and of course, follow Reset EU project on social media to keep updated on the project's activities, results, and tools. We value your feedback and suggestions. Please feel free to reach out to us through our website or social media channels. Thank you once again for listening. Until next time, keep dreaming big, challenging boundaries, and working towards a gender equal future. Take care and stay curious.